So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Rodgers going to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Rodgers. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
A give. This is Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He lets it fly for Lockett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Here's Darnold. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. That puts a good dent into their 1st down setback. It's a pickup of 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back to Heinz Field after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, Darnold. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
Back to throw, Darnold. And this one's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold from the gun. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Trent Murphy in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Going up top. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Going for the deep ball. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now it's Rodgers. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Let's go, come on.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is out of bounds here. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with Carson. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost started to...
And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now they'll try to sweep with Bell. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Back now in Pittsburgh. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on 1st down. The throw to the right side, caught by Coleman. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Hot! Hot!
Third and long, it's Darnold. He's looking deep for Bell. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play in football.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers now on first down. Flushed out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be caught. They give him a gain of 37. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. They give it to him running left. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the fourth. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Corey Coleman, the 40, 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Corey Coleman with what will be called a 107-yard return. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
319, 8626. 319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Throwing is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Trent Murphy in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Jump out! 319.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. The give is to Bell. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. After the penalty, it's Bell. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
He'll get it up the middle. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
He'll buy some time right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. Now he's forced out right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Toss it to Bell running left. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll go again with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle by Robert Quinn. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A give to Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Steelers, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Arizona, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you say, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon, I might just roll out to Vegas. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out all the problems. It got me easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott. Took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. They bail got my stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matt back, looking clean. Dead places in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
Over here, empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over here. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew up right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh.